Good evening, fans, and welcome to historic Crocker Field and tonight's Central West Conference Tournament for Flag Football 2025. Before we begin action tonight, we would like to begin with our conference award winners. Starting first with the all-conference players as selected by the conference coaches. Representing Wachusett 2, Brianne Clark. Representing Veritas Prep 2, Jerry Ellis Torres. Representing Groton Dunstable, Aubrey Stark. Representing Veritas Prep 1, Mariah Olitis. Representing Fitchburg Gray, Maya Tillier. Representing Springfield International Charter School, Maya Wise. All conference players from South Lancaster Academy, Victoria Wandenbrook and Natalie McClusko. Representing Leominster 2, Jasmaya Compress and Sinaya Barr. Representing Fitchburg Red, Shamari Rodriguez, Leilani Ingracia, and Bia Pena. Representing Air Shirley, Alexa Jenkins, Reach Hafner, Abby Miller. Representing Wachusett 1, Jordan D'Amelio, Julia Daly, Jillian Sanders. All conference players representing Leominster 1, Francesca Tidmore, Jay Colazzo, Analia Trochet. Offensive Player of the Year, representing Wachusett 1, Maggie Jennings. Defensive Player of the Year, representing Leominster 1, Kiara Phillips. '25 Central West Conference Most Valuable Player, representing Leominster 1, Jayliani Santiago. Coach of the Year, representing Fitchburg Red, Anthony Aquendo. And now our conference team awards. Most Improved Team of the Year, Wachusett 1. Conference Sportsmanship Award, South Lancaster Academy. One more time, how about a nice hand for our Central West Conference award winners? This past weekend, tragedy struck our community with the sudden and unexpected passing of girls flag football student athlete and graduate of Fitchburg High School class of 2024, Beautiful Sanchez. On behalf of Coach Aquendo and the student athletes of our Red and Gray Girls Flag Football program, it is my honor to share their words. Today, we gather to remember and celebrate the life of Beautiful Sanchez, a remarkable individual who positively impacted everyone she encountered. She was a former all-conference player and captain of our 2024 flag football team. A great competitor that made everyone around her better. She was known to light up the room and lift everyone around her up. Beautiful's legacy will extend beyond her impressive achievements. It lies in the hearts she touched and the lives she influenced. As we reflect on her journey, we honor the mark she left on the world of sports and the lives she touched. At this time, we ask that everyone please stand and join us in celebrating the life of Beautiful Sanchez, a life extinguished far too soon, with this moment of silence. Thank you. Please continue to stand as we honor America and those defending our freedom with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you once again for joining us here tonight at Crocker Field. Best of luck to all of our competing teams. Let's play football.
And we welcome you to historic Crocker Field here in downtown Fitchburg for the 2025 Patriots Girls Flag Football League Central West Division Championships. Good evening, everyone. I'm Daniel Bolak. Happy to have you along with us here today for what should be an exciting day of flag football. We have 12 teams in the Central West Division, and over the next few hours, we'll be whittling it down to one single champion and two teams who will earn their trip to the state playoffs. Daniel Bolak again here with you, Travis Falk on camera from high above Crocker Field, where some precipitation has started to fall. Phantom precipitation evading the best efforts of the weather radars out there, but nevertheless, the teams will persevere through this weather. We'll be bringing you 4 games, one from each of the 4 sessions. We start with the round of 12. The 4 games that are being played in the round of 12, number 5 seed Leominster 2 taking on 12 seed Wachusett 2. Number 6 seed South Lancaster Academy taking on 11 seed Veritas Prep 2. Number 7 seed Springfield International Charter School taking on number 10 seed Grand Dunstable. And our first featured game will be the number 8 seed Fitchburg Gray taking on the number 9 seed Veritas Prep number 1. For Fitchburg Gray, they finished the regular season with a record of 7-9. They scored 159 points in the campaign, conceded 354 for a differential of minus 195. The differential is what I believe decided the tiebreaker between them and Springfield International, who also finished with a 7-9 record. Although Fitchburg won both meetings against Springfield International, differential was what ended up playing the part in separating them, as SICS had a minus 110 point differential to Fitchburg's minus 195. So as you may have seen throughout the pregame, there are 4 fields set across from left to right. Yeah, field 1, 2, 3, and 4 squeezed in here to Crocker Field in order to make this happen, to get 4 games at once. So each of the teams will play in the round of 12 to whittle us down to 8, where they'll meet the 4 teams that have gotten byes through their strong performances this year. Leominster won, the number 1 seed. Wachusett won, the number 2 seed. Ayer Shirley, the 3 seed, and Fitchburg Red, the 4 seed. There's the coin toss to start this game to determine who will have the ball first. As we mentioned, Fitchburg with a 7-9 record. Veritas's team number 1 finished with a record of 5-11, 174 points scored, actually more than Fitchburg 2, than the Fitchburg Gray team, and 261 conceded, so significantly less there. But they just didn't get the results as consistently as they would have liked. Just 5 wins for the Vipers. They played Fitchburg Gray twice in the regular season. Excuse me, it was just 1 time in the regular season. That was actually the very first game. It was actually the very first night of the season, all the way back on April the 7th. Fitchburg Gray won that one by a score of 21-7. So after all is said and done, Veritas will start on first down. A throw out to the right side is caught. The throw from Sayana Fisher, caught by Macy Johnson, and she's able to get a few yards on first down. So now second down coming here for the Vipers. A throw out to the right side, finds Johnson again. Her flag quickly pulled. 2 different Raiders there, and Nana Marrero, and the other one being Ali Bernabe. Another solid gain on another solid throw, but now brings up third down for Veritas. They have to get to midfield for a fresh set. Fisher looking under pressure quickly and is going to be sacked. Malia Valverde, the freshman, able to come in on the rush, and Fisher couldn't get out of the way there. She is sacked. And it'll be a 3-and-out for Veritas to start. So now we'll see how Fitchburg Gray can respond. Fitchburg Gray, the number 8 seed, as we mentioned, with the 7-9 record. Started out 2-0, but lost 6 in a row before turning it back on down the stretch. A win against Wachusett 2, and then they alternated wins and losses the rest of the way. First down goes nowhere fast for the Raiders, and even worse, it goes over the head of J.R. Baez and into the end zone for a safety. The first points of the game go to Veritas Prep. Once the ball is fumbled, it is a dead ball, and if the ball is fumbled into the end zone like that, then it is a safety. So it is 2-0 to Veritas. First down not going quite to plan for Veritas. Another sack there. I was looking down at that moment, so kind of missed it. But I see it was Valverde who came in on the rush. Fisher tries to throw quickly to the left, but that's out of the reach of Chanel Grant, and incomplete. Brings up quickly, third down. Veritas gets themselves set. Mariah Altius ready to snap it. And that doesn't go to plan. They try to shovel pass to Chanel Grant, and she drops the football. Nothing gained on all of that. Maybe the sack was something I was imagining and it wasn't a thing that actually happened, because now they're lining up for third down again. But nevertheless, Fisher going to go for the deep ball. Needed to get a lot of yards for a first down, but that throw way too far and way out of the reach of Mariah Altius. So ultimately another 3 and out for Veritas, but they still have the lead with 3.5 minutes gone in the first half of play. 18-minute halves used in flag football. Clock on your screen is unofficial, just keeping it counting up there, but it should be more or less accurate. J.R. Baez, the quarterback for Fitchburg Gray. First down throw for Maya Tellier. Had double coverage to deal with and not able to cleanly corral that football. Second down coming now for the Fitchburg Gray Red Raiders. Yes, and what might be a little confusing, the team that has got gray in their name is not the team wearing gray in this matchup, but gray unis are on the horizon for Fitchburg, we do hope. As our Baez, standing in the pocket, looking around, having trouble finding a target, is able to get a pass off it. It is complete to Nana Marrero, but she's not able to get very far after that. Now third down. Gonna have to get to midfield for a first down, probably about 18 yards away. It's a bit of a distance. They're just looking for something big on third down. Baez looking to her left, now looking straight up the field, now to the right, finds Tellier. Keeps the tightrope on just to stay in bounds. Even if she could, though, standing right there was Anaya Graham, able to pull her flag. The completion's there, but the yardage isn't. And all the way back down it'll go. 5 minutes and 30 seconds gone in the first half, 2-0 to Veritas. Chanel Grant getting instructions from Sayana Fisher. What the play will be here. It'll be a quick throw right to the center. That's perfectly fine. And a catch made by Altius. Able to make a bit of a move there and get some yardage downfield. The first catch for Altius on the night. Here's second down. Fisher taking her time. The throw to the right, just out of the reach of Camicia Johnson. Third down coming for the Vipers. You can use that X on the 40-yard line, which is used for kickoffs, as a good reference point to where the teams need to get to if they want a fresh set of downs. There's all the pressure. This time Johnson's able to make the catch as she's juggling it. Her flag gets yanked. She's well short of the first down, short by about 8 yards. And Veritas will not take the gamble. They will punt it away. After 3 downs in your own territory, on fourth down, you can either go for it, try to get that first down, or you can punt it away, and if you punt it away, the other team gets the ball in their own 5. Right now, both teams struggling a little bit to really gain offensive traction. We've yet to see a first down in this contest. Our Baez goes to the left. Her throw lofted well out of the reach of Sky Santana. Field's typically 50 yards long. When you use the end zones as your, when you use the sidelines as your end zones, it does make it just a little longer, so you have to gain about an extra yard or so to get a first down. Basically an extra 5 feet. Lofted to the left on second down. Catch was made. It took a little while before the flag was sufficiently pulled. I think also maybe after the catch was made by Millie Rivera, she may have stepped out of bounds. It looked like both her flags were ultimately intact, but I think in the end, had to blow the whistle on that. Modest gain on second down. But a chunk of yardage required on third. Narvaez taking the snap. Wants to look downfield, definitely wants to loft it up. Veritas not rushing. And time expires there. You only have 7 seconds to throw the ball downfield. So if you're unable to find a target in 7 seconds, then it's an automatic incompletion. So Veritas will take it back. Here's their 4th drive of the contest. First down throw. Johnson's got the catch. Flagpole eluded there and able to break up field for some extra yardage. Dancing and juking. That was already her 4th completion of the night for Macy Johnson. Solid gain on first down for the Vipers. Second down, lofted left side. It's going to be caught. That's Altius making the catch there for her 2nd reception. Not quite enough for the first down, but is definitely manageable. Looks like they're just outside the no-run zone, but it's going to be a pass all the way. There's the rush, there's the throw. And the rush made by Malia Valverde was able to force that incompletion. Big stop for Fitchburg. Veritas thinks about it for a moment. John Charles, the head coach of the Vipers. A bunch of 3 and outs, but the one that wasn't a 3 and out was a safety on the first play from scrimmage for Fitchburg Gray. That's the only score in this game. First down pass was behind Marrero. Maybe just a bit of miscommunication there from Narvaez. Here's second down for the Red Raiders of Fitchburg Gray. First year that Fitchburg has been able to field 2 teams in flag football. The very first season, there was just 8 teams. Fitchburg was one of those 8. In the second season, the first year, you could field multiple teams. Narvaez will get it to Tellier. Tellier putting on a move. But Grace Tett does not fall for it. Able to yank her flag. Tellier's 2nd reception of the contest. Gets some yardage, but will lead to third down coming. Raiders still trying to get to midfield again. Neither team has a first down in this contest. But Narvaez going for the deep ball, and it's broken up. Double coverage there. Johnson and Altius both combining there to break that up and prevent anything from going the Raiders' way. Another 3 and out. Cheering from another score there as we have a proper run play here. Chanel Grant taking the handoff, going up the middle, gaining a few yards with yards through the air few and far between right now. Maybe it's not a bad idea to try a running play such as that. Here's second down. There's the rush again. And off the fingertips of Donelis Esperon, to be exact. First time she's been targeted in this contest. Veritas Prep just has 8 players on this team 1 in tonight's contest. And Fisher's throw there, well offline and incomplete. And yet another 3 and out. Fisher is, from my count, 6 for 12 through the air in this contest. All relatively short completions. Did mention Veritas Prep is pretty sound, for the sense, their differential over 100 points better than Fitchburg Gray's was. But a slightly worse record as Arbaez on first down, looking all around, looking for anywhere to go. Tried to get it to Tellier, but out of her reach and incomplete. Arbaez is 4 for 10 in this contest through the air. Two to the left side, one to the right for the Raiders on second down. That's going to be caught by Sky Santana. Her flag got pulled relatively quickly. Actually, her flag never got pulled, just ended up losing a handle on the football. That will go down at least as a catch, then a fumble. Just made that jump move there, and then the ball just flew out. Whistle blew pretty quickly. Thought it was just a quick flag pull, but both of her flags appeared intact, just lost a handle on the football. Mentioned precipitation in the air at Crocker Field tonight. Two bunched up tight to the right for the Raiders on third down. Try to get it to Santana, but overthrown and incomplete. That one lands and bounces into field number 1. And it'll be another 3 and out. The one mistake in this contest is the only points on the board. 2-0 to Veritas Prep on a safety very early in this first half. So we're approaching the final minutes of this first frame. Fisher with the pressure, jukes out of the sack, gets the throw off, but off the hands of Johnson and incomplete. Second down coming for Veritas. Fisher gets the throw off. Johnson makes the catch. Whole bunch of pull there. Well, the flag never fell. And Johnson continuing to go on her horse. They can't get the flag off her. And she's into the end zone. Touchdown, Vipers. One of the Raiders had a good amount of fabric in her hand, but the problem was that was the back of Macy Johnson's jersey. It wasn't the flag. She thought for a moment her flag was pulled, but didn't hear a whistle, so she kept running. And great foot speed from Johnson to keep that rolling. And got it all the way for a touchdown. There was one point where they even had a hand on the flag, but it just slipped out of the grasp. 8-0. Conversion pass knocked up and incomplete. So 8-0 Veritas in front. And I imagine that's likely the whistle for halftime as well. You can see as little time as left unofficially. Not really a lot of time to get anything together for Fitchburg Gray. They would only have had time for one more play at most. The play that ultimately results in the first down of the contest ends up going all the way for 6 points for Veritas Prep, and now they have an 8-0 lead. You look into the huddle there. Dee Wizery is the head coach. Monty Graham can see him in the red vest in the left side of that huddle. He's the assistant coach. Fitchburg High School class of 2021. He was a 2-year starter at quarterback for the Red and Gray. As we'll see in our next game, which will be Fitchburg Red against the winner of Leominster 2 and Wachusett 2. The Raiders coaching staff there also featuring recent Red Raider graduates. Anthony Aquendo, the head coach, and Richard Santana, the assistant coach, both of them from the class of 2022. So through one half of play, it is 8-0 in favor of Veritas Prep. They got their first points on a safety from the first play from scrimmage for Fitchburg Gray. Snap that sailed over the head of Jair Baez. And then in the last play from scrimmage in the first half, a catch and run by Camicia Johnson, in which she was able to outrun everyone. And nobody was quite able to grab her flags and pull them off. We see the Raiders now making their way down towards the near side of the field. They'll be running away from us in the second half. Still a one-possession game despite all that with a conversion stop. But the challenge right now is really finding yardage and getting downfield. Veritas has shown themselves to be quite stout defensively. Veritas' wins this year coming against South Lancaster, Wachusett 2, Grand Dunstable, Veritas 2, and Springfield International. The South Lancaster one, a little impressive. The Crusaders finished with a record of 8-9. Somehow the way everything got drawn up, South Lancaster and Wachusett 2 each got to play an additional game. Put in perspective, Fitchburg Gray against South Lancaster, not able to win either game. The first one they lost by 31. The other time they played the Crusaders, they only lost by 6. The Veritas did lose their other meeting to South Lancaster, but that was only by 5 points, 18-13. And Springfield International, as noted, also finished ahead in the standings. Could make the argument Veritas played a slightly stronger schedule over the course of the season. And it wasn't a perfectly balanced schedule on either side. 16 games with 11 different teams. You'll play as many of them as you can, but there are going to be some teams that you'll play twice, because that's just how math works. So the schedules aren't perfectly balanced. Some teams will have harder schedules than others. Raiders will have first snap in the second half. Throw out to the right side is going to be incomplete. A lot of pressure there as they try to get it to Amelia Rivera. Anaya Graham from behind really battling and fighting her off. Obviously, I stand to wonder how much the precipitation has an effect on the throwing game. Sky Santana will line up in the backfield to the left of Baez. Won't take the handoff, but instead the throw out to Rivera on the left side. A lot of space there, closes up pretty quickly, but still some solid yardage there on the second down throw. Third down coming now. Still about a dozen yards or so to get for a fresh set. Tellier spread out wide to the left. They'll throw to the right. Santana trying to gather that in. Bobbled out of her fingertips and then knocked away by Graham. Raiders taking a moment to think about it here on 4th down, but just can't take the risk at this juncture. But that might be a decision they may make that may go the other way later on in this contest. Now we'll see Veritas in their first possession of this second half of play. First down catch is made. And Esperon able to evade her flag grasps. She's still going, finally gets her flag pulled. Well past midfield, about 10 yards from goal. Doni Esperon with her first catch of the contest goes for tremendous yardage. First down for Veritas in Fitchburg Gray territory. This is actually the first play of the entire contest taking place in enemy territory. You can see the run there by Chanel Grant right on the run, charging forward. Down around the 5-yard line. Looks like right at the 5. In position where I don't believe they'll be able to run a running play this time. It's got to be a pass. It's going to be a sack. As Sayana Fisher's flag was pulled just before she could release that football. Backs them up a couple of yards, makes it 3rd down, although it does mean they can run here if they want. So there's a silver lining to losing the yardage here. There'll be a throw through the hands of Chanel Grant and incomplete. So the officials are running the wrong way, in case you're wondering. They're ready to set the ball on the other side of the field, but that's where Fitchburg Gray was starting last half. It's a new half now. Teams can't go for it on 4th down. If you can't get into the end zone after 3rd down in enemy territory, you auto pump the ball. Baez on 1st down. There's Familia Rivera. She's able to juggle and make the catch. Ivaneshka Melendez is able to yank her flag down. Third catch of the contest for Familia Rivera. She's a freshman. Played as an 8th grader for Fitchburg last year. Here's 2nd down for Baez. Looking around, trying to find somewhere. Finds Tellier. She's able to make the catch. In between the numbers and the hashes. Third down coming here. See Veritas choosing not to rush anybody, really focused on the pass defense. At that point, it becomes 4v5. It makes Arbaez's job a lot more challenging. Looking to the left side. It's going to be caught. Nana Marrero is able to make the catch. They'll come down to the spot. Is going to be short of midfield. Raiders have made 3 straight completions. And at this point, the Wizardry side will go for it on 4th down. They do rush this time. The throw to the right side. Rivera not able to get the ball in. Not able to make the catch. That was a risk that the Raiders had to take there. It's been really challenging to make their way downfield in this contest. Been scrapping for every yard they can, while Veritas has been able to break a couple big ones. And now 3 shots for the Vipers. Lofting out on 1st down, but too far for Altius. Veritas Prep out of Springfield. 2nd year that they've played in the Girls Flag Football League. They had a team last year. In addition, this is just their 2nd year as a school offering the high school grades. They were a middle school before that. They're now a 5 through 12 charter school as they throw to the right side, but way too far for Altius. Put a lot of air onto that one. There's probably also this thought now that it's 3rd down, you're in enemy territory, so you have 1 shot, you've got to get it 24 yards downfield. So now you feel like you may be a little biased to try to throw the deep ball. That's what makes the rush so important there. And there's the interception by Maya Tellier. Tellier will run it back to the hashes. That's why the pressure there from Malia Valverde is so significant there, because it minimizes the amount of time that Fisher has to be able to chuck the ball downfield. Her players may not be able to get in position. So the first interception of the contest. The Raiders will have solid field position to start this drive. Just in front of the hashes on 1st down. Sky Santana to the left of J.R. Bias. Santana will take the ball, try to sweep to the right side, but well read by Anaya Graham. Trying to switch up, try to run a little bit, maybe got a yard on all of that. 2nd down, throw left side. Santana's flag doesn't fall. She's running down the sideline. Finally gets her flag yanked with authority, but not before getting well into Viper territory. First down for the Red Raiders. They'll now work from the hashes on the other side. Out 17 yards from goal. Tellier now the quarterback. Throws right side. It's going to be caught. First reception of the contest for Jayla Polanco. Just a 6th grader making the catch. 5th different Raider to make a reception. Maya Tellier given some conference honors before the game. Now stepping up in the quarterback role on 2nd down. Definitely did not get the release she was looking for on that ball. But not the worst throw in the world considering where everybody was on that. 3 Vipers in close proximity to that football, and it falls well short of all of them. That looked like the type of throw that was screaming slippery ball. And the Raiders on 3rd down really want to get into the end zone here. There's the loft up. Rivera's got the catch. She's going to be into the end zone. There was a flag thrown, though. We check what the infraction is first. It ends up going against Fitchburg. So any provisional touchdown is wiped off the board. All penalties against the offense result in a loss of down. So the Raiders are not entitled to try again on third down from a farther distance. Instead, it becomes fourth down. Fourth down is an auto punt in enemy territory. Therefore, it's going to be Viper football from their own 5 on first down. Lost a handle on the handoff there. Brent had the ball and then fumbled it right out. Backed up a little bit. Here's second down. Throw to the right side is incomplete. Johnson not able to make that catch. Roughly 5 minutes to go in regulation time in this opening round game between Fitchburg Gray and Veritas 1. Veritas the 9 seed, Fitchburg Gray the 8 seed. Here's third down. Throw bobbled and incomplete. Cannot be hauled in there. Macy Johnson trying to make that haul. It'll be a 3 and out, and I'll say one of the things I noticed too with how Veritas was handling that was looking at the foot placement of Sanaya Fisher and noticing how she made sure she was standing a foot in front of the goal line. And when she took the snap, she made sure her feet were planted. She did not want to backpedal into the end zone and perhaps put herself at risk of taking a safety in that spot. Here's Tellier on first down. Stepping up to the line of scrimmage. She cannot go past it. She will chuck it downfield. And that will fall incomplete. Sky Santana and Jayla Polanco are both down there. But went farther than even they were expecting. There was also a penalty against Fitchburg on that last play. It is possible that Tellier took a step too far and stepped past the line of scrimmage. Mariah Altius has her hand in the air to indicate that she would like to rush on this play. Noticing where the Raiders are. Tellier will have to be cognizant of that. And she's able to get a quick chest throw off. Caught there by Amelia Rivera. That'll only provide a little bit of breathing room. Veritas knows if they can get the safety here, they can pretty much seal the game, make it a 2-possession contest this late. And even here, Fitchburg Gray knows that they've got to get a touchdown, they've got to get a conversion, they've got to get it quick. There's not a whole lot of time left. Tellier rolling right side, finds Rivera. Now making the run upfield, but she's only just past the numbers before her flag is pulled. The Raiders opt to punt in this situation, but they're going to need a very quick 3 and out. Based on our unofficial time, there's only a couple minutes to go in regulation. Set up with the I formation on first down, but play action and a sack. They'll take some of the breathing room away. Third sack of Sanaya Fisher in this contest. And we'll get a timeout on the field late in this contest. After all, the Raiders did have that timeout left in their pocket. Best case scenario here for Fitchburg is, maybe you get that safety, you may be able to force Veritas into making a mistake with their backs to the goal line. Then you get the ball back at your own 5, and you've got to navigate the field quickly. If you get the safety, it at least assures that you can go touchdown and conversion to win, as opposed to having to go touchdown and 2-point conversion to tie. And also, if you're able to get that safety, especially on this next play, save yourself a little bit of time. Second down for Veritas. It will be a run. Take no chances there. Chanel Grant able to break forward for some yardage. Definitely trying to find a safe formation there, and now take their time, take as much time as they can. And a sling to right side, intercepted! Tellier! Touchdown Raiders! Now the officials having a discussion here on this. They're going to wave it off. Or no, are they going to give, I don't even know what that signal is anymore. They wave it and then they put the hands in the air. I'm not sure if a touchdown was scored or not. Wish I had an explanation for what happened there. But Fitchburg is taking the snap. The touchdown is given. It is 8-6. And this is a setup for a 2-point conversion. If the Raiders score here, they tie the game. It's lofted up. It's dropped in there. It's a conversion. We're tied. And that's the end of regulation. Just like in the first half, a touchdown on the last play from scrimmage leads to Veritas getting a touchdown. In this case, the last play from scrimmage for Veritas leads to a Fitchburg touchdown. It was the absolute worst case scenario for the Vipers. And the Raiders have shockingly pulled a rabbit out of their hat at the last moment and have tied the game at 8, and we go to overtime to determine this game. Each team will have one play in this first overtime, a 5-yard conversion for 1 point or a 10-yard conversion for 2 points. The Raiders go for 1, they do not get it. And now Veritas will get a shot from 5 yards out. Because of the no-run zone from the 5, a 1-point conversion must be a pass. If Veritas is able to score on this conversion, they win the game and will be on to the quarterfinals. Looking around, getting the throw. It is caught. There is a flag. It was thrown immediately by the official in the back. Penalty is against Veritas. The conversion will not stand. So that means we finish one overtime and we don't have a winner. So then we'll go to double overtime. Each team will try a 2-point conversion for 2 points. Should be a 2-point conversion. They've set the ball up at the 5 for 1. And according to the flag football rulebook, it should be Veritas going first in double overtime after Fitchburg went first in single overtime. The one other game we called that had overtime, we did not see that rotation. But also, we saw them attempt a 10-yard, 2-point conversion here. But instead, it's a 1-point conversion to the left. Altius pulls it in. That will make the score 9-8. So Fitchburg will have to score here to match. So we saw Veritas score by have it wiped off. Veritas had an opportunity to win it in the first overtime, wiped away on a penalty. Now here in double overtime, Fitchburg has to score to stay alive. Or Baez will throw to the right side, and it is juggled, incomplete! Could not be corralled. And thus in double overtime, Veritas 1 wins it 9-8. This was a very interesting game, and it had its moments. Fitchburg Gray did what they could to try to get this game to overtime. Maya Tellier getting that clutch interception on third down and getting the conversion to tie it. It took a lot considering how much Fitchburg was having trouble with solving Veritas' defense to even get themselves to this position. But it is a win for Veritas 1, and they are on to the quarterfinals to take on Leominster 1. We thank you for tuning in. For Travis Falk, I'm Daniel Bolak. Thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. Until then, so long from Fitchburg.